paradox, man. I just wanna let you know, ain't no way you're gonna take away our card game Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm gonna use the spell card to bring down my man Neos. Looks like your cyber and dragon is about to beat you. Watch that, come again. I got a second move. Looks like Jaden F and Yugi's got a lot to prove. Take down this rainbow dragon, and before you start to moan, I'm gonna lay these cards down right in the trap zone.
Okay, number 10 is the Fire Fists. The reason why they're here is because of Spirit. Spirit just came out, was bumped off, I think off completely the ban list, but at the beginning of the ban list, obviously. This top 10 list will probably change, but yeah. Spirit moves up the consistency so well that I think they deserve a top 10 rating. So that's mainly why they're on here, and then, well, that's half why they're on here. And then there's Bear. Fire Fist Bear, he really can kill, because he can target one card on the field and just destroy it. So if you're a deck that's relying on one card, you automatically basically just lost to them because of Bear himself. And then the Synchro is a pretty powerful card. He can beat the Synchro's already beats the average 2500 deck, so it's over that. So, and they have a guy that can pluck a guy, so if he gets destroyed, they get Bear out, they can destroy your one strong creature, and you're done. That is why they deserve number 10. Number 9 is Burning Abyss, which a lot of people probably will disagree with because of mainly Dante, Farfa, and all that. But if you're a good deck, you should not be having only one monster on the field. Burning Abyss can beat a lot of the old classic decks of slow, but there's a good bit of decks out there that at least, obviously, 8 other decks I would say better than in it. Not gonna say what. So, Burning Abyss, Dante, he just mills the deck, which really helps them. And then Farfa can banish a face-up card till, I think a face-up, I'm not sure. I think it's just face-up card till the end of the turn, which sets them up for the FTK or OTK, if they can get that. And also I have it this high because most likely they're already going to be gone by the next ban list because Dante is going to go down. And a lot of people have the Burning Abyss pretty high, so that's why I have them as they are. And they're probably still a very good deck, but there's other decks out there, in my opinion, that are better. Number 8 is the Masked Heroes. A lot of you probably wondering why they're higher than Burning Abyss, but the reason why, in my opinion, they're so great is they can shut down a ton of decks. With Dark Law, he can shut down the Shaddoll, he can shut down the Light Swans, he can shut down Burning Abyss. Any deck that plays the Grave, they've just been stopped. So, if you play a Grave and you're going against the Heroes, you've basically lost, unless you get a lucky draw and get Regeki. Other than that, you're not going to do probably any good against them. You'll probably be stopped right in their tracks, unless you have actually prepared against Dark Law. And also, just all the other masked heroes, like on the screen, Diane, Koga, the fire one, I don't run, and the bottom left one, I'm not even sure what that is, truthfully, and I even run this deck. I think that might be the new one. And then this Kamikaze, which is what's his name is in Japan, top left, who can't be destroyed by battle. And if he destroys opponent's monsters by battle, you draw a card. Very helpful. And then Diane special summons one if it destroys one by battle and has good attack points, so then you can bring out a Dark Law just from destroying a monster by battle. Middle one, I don't even run him. He's a good card, just can't get him on the field. That's why I have them on here, because they're a shutdown deck, basically. Hard to get around the good decks. Number 7 is the Tellarknights. Some of you probably wondering why they're so high. They're a good deck. They're a really good deck. It's just they return everything to hand, but it's hard for them to actually legit OTK. So, and there's also a bunch of other decks, in my opinion, that can still beat them, get around them. So, that's why they're so high. But they're a good deck. The XYZ 3 Tellarknights, the 3 you see on the field, is usually the 3 people use to bring it out. And then they set up the next turn as well, to summon it again or something else. So, they're a great deck. I run them on Dueling Network. I think they're one of the best decks out there. I just see other decks being able to beat them by being able to recover from them. Because they either they can just be brought right back instantly, or they can just stop it and negate it, something like that. So, I don't see them being... I see them being great, but I see other decks being able to rebound, and they won't stop them too much. So, that's it on the Tellarknights. Number 6 is the Necros. Great deck. It's just, I think, they're a tad overrated. Not really overrated, but just, I place them a little higher in my opinion, because the Necros are very consistent, even though Bryonac's at 2, but Bryonac is used for more than just the Necros, so you'll see later on in the video. So, they're a great deck. I just, again, the same as the Tellarknights, I just see other decks being able to beat them because of new cards released in Cross Souls and a few other stuff. And so, if you know anything about Cross Souls, then you know what's coming. Or there's just other decks that can outplay them by beating more decks, or just being, I don't know. It's hard for me to really say some of this because I've never ran them, but I still think that I've won against them and got my butt beat, but I've almost beat them with first time I went against them, had no idea how they worked, and I almost beat them and wasn't even using one of the top decks, 10 decks, and the other guy was really good. He was supposed to be running tier, basically how you're supposed to run them, and I was running a simple Battery Man deck that is considered I wasn't even running them how you were supposed to. I had Battery Man D in the freaking deck. Yeah, Battery Man D. And I wasn't running the Monarch card, which I just added in because I didn't add it in because I thought you had to have already a monster on the field. Well, getting back to this, I don't see them being phenomenal against top decks. I think Burning Abyss could personally, I think, might be able to probably would beat them. Tellarknights would probably beat them, but they can shut down them as well with Releaser, Daijin Releaser. So, that's all on them. That's why they're number 6. Number 5 is the Quillforts. Yes, a lot of you think they've got just screwed on the ban list. Well, in Cross Souls, they just got a new card. They just came out with basically a new skill drain. I think it's called Lose One Turn. I run in my Quillfort deck I just created. It has stomped decks. I actually think I should have this lower, but I haven't really seen them. I've always lost to the Quillforts, have not beat them yet. Usually because people get scout on their first turn. Don't know how, but they still do. And then the Sackwolf, I think that's what you call it, is a phenomenal card. Sadly, it's only they've hit it and it's at 1. So, and they just keep on pendling summoning back, and you can tribute them and just bring them back and keep on hammering your opponent. The best way to take down the Quillforts is strike them first and hard, and make sure they die before they can do anything. Before they were a fast and even more powerful deck. But when they got hit on the ban list, they have dropped. But I still think they're a very good deck, and I do not see them dropping. I consider them better than Burning Abyss. Mass Heroes, they don't do much against them. Fire Fist, yes, they may be able to take down Scout, but I can replace Scout eventually. I get to use them once, and I'm basically good. Teleknights, they return them all to the hand. Big whoop-de-doo, I set them back down. Only problem would be is if I left them on the field and they did not get back into the extra deck after I pendulum summon them, but usually I use them instantly. I use them, I did great with them. And then Necros, only way they can beat them is Releaser. If they get Releaser. So, that's why I have Quill Forts at where they are. 1 turn, whatever, I think it's something like that. Its trap card's worth $40, which I did not pull in a box. So, I plan on hopefully making a Quill Fort deck. Number 4 is the Yosinjus. Yosinjus are, in my opinion, a really good deck. I was almost, at one time I thought they should be top deck, but if you really sit down and think about it, they're not top deck. They can come really close, but they have really good competition as well. The comma 1, 2, 3 is obviously their strengths. Comma 1 returns a face-up card to the hand, comma 2 attacks directly, and comma 3 lets you bring more of them out, so you can swarm your opponent very, very badly, and they will probably rage quit, which I have used the Yosinjus, and people have done that to me many times. They, also, what you can do, if you feel like it, you can XYZ summon them. Not summon them, but use them for XYZs. If they get Venus Chained, or if you use that field spell that during the end phase, once per turn, if one would go back to your hand, you can special summon one, and they're sitting on the field. Their effects can't be used besides comma 2 and 3, but comma 1 they can't use its effect, and they don't return to the hand. You can also use that to bring out the pendulums and throw them in defense position. So that can help them as well against low attack point decks. So Yosinjus, I think, are very good. There's a few decks that can, only problem is when they return to the hand, they can be OTK'd with the nowadays decks like Burning Abyss. So you kind of want to run traps that can slow down your opponent. It's your opinion on what you want to use. So, I think that's it for the Yosinjus. Number 3 is the Light Sworns. A lot of you probably would disagree with how good the Light Sworns are, but in my opinion, they're still in the top rating decks. I use one and it just hammers every deck that I've won against. I think people would probably consider it my best deck. And it's not just because of Judgment. Michael has helped them a ton. They're getting new support as well, which something's probably gonna get hit. Charge of Light Brigade might be hit again. But Charge of Light Brigade's good, but not great. They can still be played. Well, going back to this ban list, spells and trap cards don't hurt them because of Lila. Michael can still banish them. Judgment himself. They've got that covered. And then the Wolf can hit those as well. And they're just a speed, very fast deck. Well, everyone loves Judgment Dragon. Every time I use them, people don't like him. Let's just put it at that. And first time I used them, I think I had one structure. I was running 2 Judgments. I was hardly even in it, and this guy at the tournament running Fire Fist, I almost beat him both times, running 2 Judgments, I think 1 Raiden, because people were letting me borrow cards and all this, so I didn't have it too great. And we're still doing pretty good for how it was. So, Wolf, he helps out, getting a little bit extra attack. Luna, number 1, to summon Raiden. Just a few cards to help out. So, let's get to number 2. Number 2 is the Zephyrs. A lot of people don't know about the Zephyrs. Well, they know about them, but they don't know how good they can do. I've made a Zephyr deck online. Currently, it's 14-1. It got 1 bad hand. I think it's not really a bad hand. The guy just got a lucky hand with the Black Wings, which they beat 3 other times. So they're bound to lose eventually. Zephyrs, they're one of the most consistent decks. Back to what I was saying before with the Necros, how Bryanak is used in more than one deck. This is the deck Bryanak is also used in for me. I might do a deck profile on my Zephyr deck, and they're a really good deck. They've only lost to Blackwings, they've beat Infernoids, they've beat Burning Abyss, they've beat Tellarknights, Necros, Senjus, Light Sworns, and Fire Fists. A few other decks out there they've beaten before too. I just don't remember all of them. So they're a very speed XYZ heavy used deck. If you run them my way. Other than that, if you don't run them my way, I've had seen no goodness come out of them. So if you want to use them, you have to make them an XYZ deck, which I probably will show eventually. So let's go to number 1. Number 1 is the Shaddolls. I have never been able to actually beat them, I don't think, in a 2 out of 3, and if I have, I don't remember. They are a very hard deck to beat. Windows can't be destroyed by card effects, which is a very high thing nowadays. Only really thing you can do is destroy it by battle, and that still doesn't get you a win if you just take down Winda. There's Constructor, there's ton of other things. When the fuser gets destroyed, you get a new Paulie. So the next turn they can do it again. They just keep on coming back at you with Hedgehog and definitely Falco, who can bring back, if you destroy Winda, guess who's back? Winda. So they deserve, in my opinion, to be top deck. Sadly, I would have to say them and Burning Abyss will be going down next ban list, at least a little bit. So, and then, there's also Dragon, which is running many other decks. Like, he can just, there goes your face down, spells and traps. The Dragon goes into Burning Abyss if you really feel like it. Light Sworns, Infernoids, any other deck you like. My opinion, and also there's, I don't know these guys, so I don't know the guy's name. He kind of looks like, he's not a dragon, but, well, he's like, you basically a foolish burial for you. So, this is my top 10 list. Please like, subscribe, and check out my other top 10 list type things. Like, I have 2 other top 10s for Yu-Gi-Oh! They're based on the Bridge series. Please go watch those. I probably had them up in the, probably down in the descriptions and stuff like that, so links. So please like, subscribe. This has been the Champion of Heroin 16. Goodbye.